In the quiet moments between each breath, a sacred truth unfolds, one that was written long before the world taught you to doubt your worth. You have walked through seasons of silence, carrying the weight of questions too deep for words. And yet, not once have you been unseen. Every tear, every longing, every quiet hope has been witnessed by the celestial messengers who walk beside you. There is a love gentle, enduring, and pure that has watched over you from a distance. A soul, younger in years but ancient in devotion, has held your name in silent reverence, waiting for the moment when courage could speak louder than fear. This love is no longer content to dwell in the shadows. The time is drawing near when hidden hearts will no longer remain hidden, and the words long withheld will finally reach your ears. Type, I am worthy of a patient and intentional love. You are being guided, not only by destiny, but by divine hands that seek to heal and reveal. Stay open, for what has been kept quiet is now preparing to sing. What has been waiting is now ready to find you. There is a reason your heart has carried a quiet ache, one that no one could quite name. You've looked to the stars for answers, not knowing that one of them has long whispered your name in silence, from a distance too sacred to touch until now. Type, I align with divine love to claim this energy. This soul, younger in years but carved from a longing as old as time, has watched your journey not with mere admiration, but with a depth of affection too tender to disturb your path. Their silence was never absence, but reverence. In the quiet corners of their world, you have been a hidden melody, memorized, cherished, repeated like a prayer that never fades. They have loved you from the shadows, not out of fear, but out of awe. To them, your light was not something to possess, but something to honor. Every time your voice reached the air, every time your eyes carried sadness or wonder, their spirit trembled with the hope of one day being near enough to answer that silent call. The angels have watched this love grow in secret. They have seen the dreams this soul dared not voice, the letters never written, the confessions folded away like fragile wings. Yet heaven does not leave such things unanswered. And so, a moment begins to form quietly, precisely, divinely. Type, God is writing a beautiful love story for me. There will come a day, not far from now, when what was once buried beneath layers of doubt and fear will find the breath to rise. Words that were once rehearsed in silence will break through like sunlight after long winter, warm and undeniable. You will not need to question what is true. It will be spoken not as a question, but as a promise. What has been hidden is not gone. What has been silent is not forgotten. You are walking toward a meeting written into the stars long ago, and the voice you've unknowingly waited for is finally learning to speak. Say, it's already mine to manifest your destined relationship. It began in silence so quiet, not even the stars noticed at first. A glance, perhaps unreturned. A word left unsaid. But in that fragile moment, something eternal took root. Unseen by the world, unnoticed even by you, a devotion began to bloom where no one was looking. There was no thunder, no sudden sign from above. Only a heart, young but true, recognizing something familiar in your presence. As if their soul had wandered lifetimes waiting to remember you. They watched from afar, not out of hesitation, but with the reverence of one who knows the sacredness of timing. Days turned to seasons. Still, the secret remained. They memorized the curve of your laughter, the quiet way you pause when lost in thought. Every detail became a verse in a silent hymn they kept within. Others may have passed you by, distracted by the noise of their own lives. But this soul saw you completely, endlessly. Type, my soul is attracting the right person, What kept them quiet was never indifference, but the weight of emotions too vast to name. How could they speak when their heart was still learning how to carry so much without trembling? They chose instead to honor you from a distance, fearing that proximity might fracture the fragile beauty of what they felt. And yet, the heavens never intended for this love to remain unseen forever. Angels have been guiding each invisible thread, weaving paths closer, moments brighter, until the unseen becomes undeniable. The silence that once protected now begins to press against their spirit, like wings ready to unfold. Type, I am ready for the love meant for me. There will be a moment unexpected, unplanned, when everything held within can no longer be contained. Words will come, not perfectly, but purely. The truth they've carried will finally meet your ears, not to demand anything in return, but to liberate what was hidden. Love like this is rare. It does not ask for permission. It waits until the soul is ready to speak. And now it is. Type, the right person is being sent to me now. What awaits is not a simple confession, but a soul unveiling a revelation shaped by countless moments of quiet longing. Every time they watched you from a distance, every silent prayer they whispered into the night, has gathered strength. The time draws near when it can no longer remain hidden. You may not recognize it at first. It will not arrive with grand gestures or loud declarations. It may come as a glance that lingers too long, a word spoken with trembling meaning, a moment where time itself seems to pause around you. This is how the divine often speaks, not through spectacle, but through quiet certainty. Expect a presence that begins to move closer, not in haste, but in steady purpose. There may be hesitations, not from doubt, but from the sheer weight of meaning behind every step. This love, having waited in silence for so long, now seeks to approach not with urgency, but with reverence. Signs may appear where once there was distance. A message sent without reason, an unexpected conversation, or a coincidence too precise to ignore. Each one will be guided by something greater than chance. You will feel the threads beginning to pull together, not abruptly, but with purpose only the heavens understand. In this unfolding, you will not need to search for meaning. It will find you. The words you've longed to hear may come quietly, but they will carry the power to change everything. Not because they are perfect, but because they are true. And when that moment arrives, whether under starlight or in the stillness of an ordinary day, your soul will know. Not through explanation, but through recognition. It will be the meeting of two silent truths, finally ready to speak aloud. But even love wrapped in purity is not free from challenge. When feelings once kept safe behind silence begin to take form, there is trembling. Not because the love is weak, but because it has lived so long in the realm of dreams that the light of reality feels overwhelming. This love carries weight. It has grown in secret, watered by longing, tested by time, and now it must step into the unknown. Expect hesitation. Not all resistance comes from outside. Within, there may be questions, fears, doubts that whisper, is it too late? Will it be welcome? These are not signs of failure, but of truth preparing to emerge. There may be a struggle between the comfort of silence and the courage of honesty. And yet, the soul cannot evolve without risk. This path may not be smooth. There might be moments of confusion, words spoken then regretted, attempts to retreat once vulnerability is exposed. You might find yourself uncertain, wondering how to respond to something so delicate, so unexpected. That is part of the sacred tension where transformation is born. The difference in age, though unseen by the heart, may surface in the world around. Opinions may rise, assumptions may cloud the clarity of what is being offered. But true connection is not built on numbers. It rises from recognition when two spirits align beyond time, beyond logic, beyond what is easily understood. You may be tested, not because you are being punished, but because the universe refines what is valuable through challenge. This is not a story meant to remain easy. It is one meant to be real. So when you stand in front of this love, face to face at last, you will have to choose whether to retreat into what has always been known, or to take the hand that trembles with truth and walk forward into something uncertain, but divine. You are not merely the focus of a quiet affection. You are the recipient of a love so rare, even the stars have watched in reverence. Many go through lifetimes never being loved with such devotion, unspoken, unforced, and pure in its waiting. What surrounds you now is not coincidence. It is a sacred orchestration, woven with care by unseen hands that have long watched over your path. This love is not a gift given lightly. It found you because your heart carries a light few can see. Through all you've endured, losses that hollowed you, hopes that faded too soon, you never let the flame inside extinguish. That resilience, that quiet strength, is what called this love to you. And now, it arrives not to complete you, but to recognize you. You are blessed, not just because someone has loved you in silence, but because you were chosen to awaken something timeless in another. You've walked with grace through seasons of loneliness, not knowing your endurance was planting seeds in someone else's soul. Your smile, your presence, even your pain, became part of another's healing, quietly and invisibly. When this love steps forward, it will carry not only emotion but deep admiration for the way you carry yourself, for the light you never noticed you cast. And in that recognition, you'll understand how loved you've always been, even when you felt unseen. Few are chosen for stories like this. Fewer still are ready to receive them. But you, beloved soul, have been prepared through every trial. Heaven has trusted you with a love that waited in silence, and now prepares to speak in truth. And so, the silence prepares to bow out, making room for the voice that has longed to speak. Not just a confession, but a revelation, one that holds the essence of time, longing, and sacred timing. You stand on the edge of something rare, something that only reveals itself to those who have endured, remained open, and carried tenderness through the weight of their own solitude. The journey ahead may not be predictable, but it will be honest. Each moment will hold meaning, even the pauses, the hesitations, the glances that carry more than words ever could. You will not be asked to understand everything all at once, only to listen, to remain present, and to honor what unfolds without rushing it. This love was never rushed. It has matured like a fruit hidden high among the branches, untouched by impatience. And now, as it ripens before you, it asks only for your truth. Your willingness to be seen, not as a puzzle to solve, but as a soul to meet. You were not forgotten in the silence. You were being remembered in every quiet moment where that heart, younger but deeply connected, kept the flame alive. Even when unseen, even when unspoken, it was loyal to the feeling. Not because it had to be, but because something eternal was recognized in you. Now, as the veil begins to thin, and words once trapped behind fear prepare to flow freely, know this: what is arriving is not a mere moment. It is a crossing, a sacred turning point. One where the quiet no longer needs to protect the love, because the time for expression has come. You are ready, and the love that has waited is ready too.